Okay, even though nobody's going to talk about this at all because they consider it to be a non argument, and of course, I got a lot of videos I need to put out, so at some point, I'm probably going to just be dishing out video one after another if I haven't already done that yet. But, anyways, I'm just making this quick video because I needed to put my final thoughts on this. The Xbox One and the PS4 are going to have their power bricks built inside of their respective consoles. And I guess they're trying to one up the Wii U. And yeah, nobody's going to talk about this because, they're gonna like, oh, yeah, because we're just going to have a single cord and plug it in and that'll be it. There's a reason why the power brick is built on the outside of consoles nowadays. It's mainly because, and this is an important reason, they don't do well with heat and they're getting larger. And taking it out like what the Wii U did and making it an external part of the machine was a good idea on Nintendo's part. Yeah, I don't really like it, if you haven't guessed. Um, Sony and Microsoft. I'm still getting the PS4, by the way. Paid for it in full and everything. It's on pre-order. I'm just gonna have to sit and wait for the damn thing to come. But uh, this is something I really don't agree with. Just like the Wii U's multiplayer clusterfuck with the headset deal, which is still stupid. But I mean, and of course, I still don't agree with the Wii U's flash memory drive. I think they should have used a normal normal hard drive, and at least made it remove, and at least allowed me to remove a hard drive and put one in. But anyways, I don't like this. I think it was a bad idea for both Sony and Microsoft. If one of you are asking, well, it looks bulky, well, it looks bulky for a reason. The power supply is in there. And the other reason is that it doesn't react well with heat. Hopefully they put enough of these heat vents in there to make sure it doesn't overheat. Just constantly overheat, and overheat. But I don't have that much confidence because Sony and Microsoft could have at least lessened the bulkiness by taking it out and having it part of the plug-in, and it would have worked just fine. I don't understand why they gotta shove that in there. Yeah, because people hate the brick. Dude, get over it. Lots of people don't like the brick. I mean, it's at least better than what happened with the Sega Genesis that had the Sega CD and the X32, I believe, 32X. And the thing about when you had the Sega Genesis, the Sega CD, and the 32X all plugged in all at once, they used at their end these giant, those well-known giant black plugs, with the two prongs, and it was just basically a giant brick. Most people who get basic speakers for their computers basically knows what that means, because most basic speakers have those plugs. For some reason, the people who make these giant speakers have to have those gigantic plug-ins that just take up a full of your hand, but only have two prongs at the end or whatever. You just stand there and scratch your head. Why? Why is this like this again? And I find it kind of a clusterfuck in a way. And I don't mind the brick because you can just easily throw that behind your entertainment center and it will pretty much be forgotten about. And it really doesn't take up as much room as everybody thinks it does. And beside, or Yeah, I mean, the only people who complain about that the most are people who like to shove their desk or their entertainment center way into the back of the wall that it's touching it, which you're not supposed to do because you're supposed to leave plenty of space between the wall and the desk so you can get in there. Or even same goes with the entertainment system, especially if it's a big ass huge entertainment system that you got. You have to leave plenty of room so you can get your hands in there just in case something goes wrong or you have to disconnect something, and it doesn't become frustrating as hell to hook other devices into it. And believe me, I run in groups of people who literally want to just shove their entertainment center all the way to the wall, and it becomes virtually impossible to get to the wires in the back. That you almost have to literally have to go in the other side of the wall and start bashing holes into it until you get to the entertainment center, and also have to watch out for the electrical wiring. Or you have to do what and most people did was just slowly move the bookshelf out of the way and the immensely heavy shit bookshelf because yeah, they're pretty light when you put them in, but when you stuff them full of crap, yeah, they weigh a ton. So yeah, I think having the bricks on the plugs are just totally fine with me, and I don't like the idea of putting the bricks with the systems now because, I mean, back then it was a good idea, but nowadays it's not so much of a good idea. Mainly because these bricks are getting bigger and bigger, and the system, and they're not very good with heat, and it could cause some major fucking problems. For me, I'm gonna probably put my PS4 in front of my TV set. Hopefully, I have enough room. Now, I'll probably have to give me a slightly bigger entertainment system, but I got a flat screen, so I got that working for me. And also, when lightning kind of strikes, it goes into your system, and if your power brick is close enough to the computer, and lightning goes through and hits that power brick, it's probably going to go straight into the nearest circuit board, and that's not good news neither. But just to let you know, I'm still getting my PS4. I don't agree with the power brick placement at all. I think it's a mistake of Sony and Microsoft. But Microsoft has made so many mistakes this generation, like not changing policies when it was obviously bad until their pre-orders ended up getting out so god awful that it was like, yeah, we're gonna have to change those policies. And of course, not changing other policies and forcing motion control down everybody's throat. Thanks a lot for that one, Microsoft. Not just motion controls, expensive motion controls. I mean, the Wii, yeah, they shove motion control down our throat, but it wasn't insanely expective, expensive. Sorry, kind of got my tongue in a twist there for some reason. Yeah, it wasn't insanely expensive at all, so it didn't really hurt the pocketbook. But Microsoft, they're just going for the gustos. Just, hey, this Kinect? We're shoving it down your throat along with this controller and this console. Unlike Sega, we got a console and a controller, and that motion thing is optionable, and you can get that later when you get enough money, or even give a flying fuck about it. Which, I'm in the whole I don't give a flying fuck about it, but then again, I'm not like someone like, Samuel the Tech Geek, who thinks that microphones can be programmed with voice commands without any kind of operating system. Nope, you could just take any standard microphone and program voice commands and then pop it into that Connect and they'll start working, even though, there's a possible download that goes in the install process that goes on with the Xbox to install, that thing called software, which is where voice commands are stored. But yeah, every time I explain that to him, he just says, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, microphones can now be programmed apparently in his world. Go figure.